We're talking about the climate of COVID-19, my business pretty much disappeared overnight. People with depression, anxiety have to pay so much attention to what makes them feel the way they're feeling. So this is the time now to really be sensitive to how things are making you feel. A lot of content put down behind the scenes and stuff like that. This is definitely the time to also put that part of your personal brand because it helps.
All right, so welcome, Matthew Ashby, aka Fewwture.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so I don't know, we know you for your amazing work in the entertainment industry, from management to video production to you wear so many hats. And I want you to tell everybody a little bit more about what you do before we go forward.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much it. I have a company called Dream Real Projects, and under that company, I manage talent and I create media. And one of the things that I'm hands-on with is video and filmmaking.
Now, speaking of work, how has work been for you if you compare, say, 4 months ago to now? Tell us about the shift.
I mean, it shift overnight.
Yeah.
It was just an overnight shift. If you're talking about the climate of COVID-19, my business pretty much disappeared overnight.
Yeah.
In all aspects. As much hats as I've been wearing, everything is shut down.
I can relate completely because we're in the same field. So
Correct.
we're always on set with people, interacting with people, traveling, all that kind of stuff. That done.
Yeah, and the thing is about even the editing, because I mean, they got some times where we are isolated. So being in isolation is not too foreign for us, you know. But it depends on which phase of the project you want, you know.
Exactly.
So I was in the middle of getting ready for pre-production, and then everything had to
take a
go
hold.
on. Yep.
No.
And then in the event section, in the talent section, obviously there's no work there. All events is done. One of my talent, he was still on tour. He had to come back home from Russia, and pretty much I just see all 2 months of bookings is gone, really.
Wow. I mean, so that goes to my next question. What is it as a manager, and you have all these people who look to you to handle their business? What kind of conversation do you have with your talent during times like this?
I always like to look at the silver lining. I don't want to ignore the pandemic, but I still don't want the talent to feel this is the time to be even more creative. You know, I just do things to come out better on the other end. You know, use this time to take a break, get to spend time with family, get to do things that matters the most. And then when this whole thing is past, then you come out being a better person.
And what are some of the things that you're doing to do that? How are you? What are the practices that you're adopting?
Well, for me personally, I would say I'm getting to know myself a lot more. You know, I'm getting into more self-development. Just see, because I used to practice it before, but I didn't have enough time. But now I have more time to say, well, okay, today is project me. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's a clipboard and paper and books, so whatever the case would be, watching YouTube, just learning and just finding a new skill, how to develop my skills in video management, whatever the case should be. It's just about reinventing and coming back out, as I said, better than when this whole thing started.
So you're a creative, and creatives, we need a certain environment to thrive. You know, all needs to be aligned for things to happen, for us to edit, for us to create, for us to conceptualize. How has the new order of things affected your creativity?
Well, you see, I mean, I'm an introvert, right? So even though I'm an introvert, I still rely on what's happening in the world to influence me somewhat. That has come to a halt. Like, I had to actually fight through it, and just let it come to me, because I would say the biggest part is just adjusting how you take in information and inspiration. And this is where discipline comes in. And you have to put discipline over inspiration, because inspiration is something that is fleeting.
Yes.
So you have to then kind of create a system that you put discipline first. So you always be disciplined to put yourself into the space, like get ready for work. Even though you're not leaving home, get ready for work. Put on your clothes, and just act like you're heading out, however, even if it's just to the next room or to the home office or whatever, and just try to show up.
People in our industry, the creatives, whether it be video production, entertainment, music production, all that kind of stuff. What do you think would be the route to take right now to stay relevant?
I'm still trying to come up with it. But I mean, like, there's things like we are doing right now. Like, we are having a conversation on Zoom.
Yeah.
And I think that we just have to learn how to adapt to the change. You never know. This may become the new normal. You don't know.
Well, yeah.
So, but you either complain about it or you find a way to adapt. I personally don't have the information that you're asking for, no, because I need it for myself. But
we're trying to work it out together.
But however, I am kind of like just trying to enjoy the process. I'm not really focusing too much on the end result or the goal per se. It's just really the journey and just trying to enjoy every day by day, and until something comes up, because you never know, opportunities may come from this that we would never imagine, for the way how things were working before. So if you give it some time, once you keep showing up for work, something might pop up.
I agree with you completely. And like you, I mean, you also have a Zoom video series. You've interviewed Richard Haynes. You've interviewed
Leah Marvel.
So you're doing your thing too. And what I love about that is that you're connecting with people on a real raw level and finding out where they're at, where their heads are at. You know what I mean? So I agree with you. It's about, at this point, taking different ways and different avenues to still create content, to still connect with people, and that's super important.
My main thing too is that for that series, I want people to see that they're not the only ones. Yes. The people that you may look up to or you may admire in business, they're also going through the same emotions, having the same challenges. Yes. So I think that once you kind of put it out there, it gives people a little bit of comfort, to show them that they're not alone.
I agree 100%. And speaking of that, if we may, I know we've had conversations in the past about mental health. You are a very big advocate for mental health.
Yeah.
This is a situation where it can really play a lot on the emotions, the psyche. And so if we could talk about that a bit, and how not just you, because I will share as well, we can easily call this a very stressful situation because you're not sure about anything. Walk me through your internal conversations.
Okay, so first of all, when internal conversations go like this, look, I'm on a roller coaster. So some days it's good, some days not so good. But the majority of days, I must say that I think about mental health and what we're going through now. And if you really think about it, people that are mentally ill feel like this on a regular. You see what normal people or I should say healthy people are feeling right now. People with depression, anxiety, whatever the case should be. You see all the emotions that normal people are feeling right now. Depressed people feel like that almost every single day.
Yeah.
So this feeling is not completely new. I think that people with mental illness may not suffer as much as we think they are
During this time.
during this time. I could be wrong, but I mean, because they're so used to isolation, they're so used to being constantly in their head. I think that this time, even if it's a little bit more painful, is necessary because it gets to the one thing about depression. It feels like the rest of the world is going along and leaving you behind. So that of itself is giving you anxiety and giving you pressure. So when that feeling that the whole world is on pause, like everyone is now at the start line together, it takes that pressure off a little bit, and then you're now able to internalize a lot more, listen to yourself a lot more, and try to heal yourself in a time like this. I think that that's what people who have a challenge with depression, anxiety, and stuff like that get to do the research needed and really go inside and pull out that information and just try to heal themselves in a time like this.
And I truly hope that that is the direction that people with mental health issues do take. Because at the same time, too, you can have a situation where problems compound, worry compounds. So you are already depressed, but then you turn on the news, then you listen to the radio, then you see an alert for a new press conference, then you get on the phone, then you get WhatsApp forwards, and all this information is coming at you. None of it is good, and you're already trying to handle your feelings or on your organic issues already, and then everything is piling up. So
yeah, what I would say to that is that information like that is definitely not healthy for you. It's not healthy for anyone, much less someone that's suffering with depression. So what I will say is that you need to disconnect from those things. I mean, you still have to find out what's going on in the world, but it doesn't mean that your TV have to be on CNN all day. You just may need an hour of news each day, and then you disconnect, and then you do something else with your life instead of having to. I know some people who came out of group chats on WhatsApp because it was too much. And people with depression, anxiety have to pay so much attention to what makes them feel the way they're feeling. So this is the time now to really be sensitive to how things are making you feel and discontinue it as much as you can. And that is good practice for when all this is past, you apply that to life as normal.
No, I agree with you completely. I was diagnosed with clinical depression when I was, I think it was 18, 19. And so I have to be very careful about and I'm a feeling person. I'm an empath, so I feel everything. So when I feel myself starting to go down with the news, feeling down and upset, and I take on everything, I say, Netflix. You know what I mean? Channel, something to boost you up. You know what I mean? Because those are the little tools like you said, are going to help you get through. And there are a lot of people who are suffering from depression prior to this, and there are people who will be taken into depression because of this. You know, what you said, I think is very important and very brave to, when I see how you bring up the conversation about mental health. It is so brave because a lot of people are not willing to really talk about it. And let's be real here. Matthew, you be flying all over the place, jet setting, do what you gotta do, your work looks glamorous. And so people will never think that there's a lot more going on. You know, there's their internal struggles that go on with anybody.
Definitely.
You
Yeah,
know.
definitely. Because just like you, I was diagnosed when I was about 13.
Mhm.
Um, chemical imbalance in the brain. So, I have to pay attention to what I eat, how much sleep I get, all these things.
Exercise.
Exercise, all these things, and just to get the chemicals regulating like a normal person.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Yeah, it's a real thing. And never before we have to be extremely. Uh, we have to take care of ourselves. We have to take care
Yeah.
of ourselves.
Yeah, and that's why I say, like this time, you either have to make up your mind, think about the good things you can get from it. You have to. You don't have a choice right now.
Mhm.
And the number one way to really start to deal with this thing called mental health is to own up to it. You could open up about it. I never was scared to open up about it. I just didn't know the language. I
Mm.
don't know the terms. But now I'm educating myself on how the brain works, how chemicals work. I know what serotonin is. I know what dopamine is, and oxytocin, and all these things. I know what I didn't know that before, so I
Mhm.
can talk about it. But now in a position now where I could come out and I say, yes, this is what I'm going through, and I believe that other people may need help, just like how I needed help. So I'm here to share it.
So let me ask you a question from a professional standpoint. Then, if you were talking to other entrepreneurs in the creative industries, what are some of the recommendations? I know you talked about learning new skills, catching up on yourself, soul searching, and just being at peace with and going with the flow of things. For people who have content, what are some of the things that we could be doing right now for content creation? I'll give an example. You would have done behind the scenes of stuff.
Yeah.
You would have had there's some videos or music videos you would have done, the same talk shows you would have done, all that kind of stuff. So you have this log of content, right? And I'm sure there are other people out there who have footage that they haven't used. Is this a good time to now try to repurpose or create?
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. I am actually, and whoever have content and is not there yet, I envy you. Because this is definitely the time that, all the behind the scenes and all the stuff that you think that was, deserved to be on the editing floor, like pick it up and create something new with it. I wish I had that. I use everything already that I have.
Oh, good dear. Yeah, but I mean, but you're ahead of the curve. So yeah, I think when I think about what we could be doing to stay up to the times and to keep being in people's faces, there's so many things that we do that a lot of people don't see, and we
Yeah,
don't let people behind the velvet rope. And I love the fact that you do that with your behind the scenes of your music videos and everything like that.
yeah.
So
Because
um,
I love to tell stories. Like our business, we are storytellers.
yes.
So it's not just the product itself but the making of the product, the process is also part of the product.
Yeah.
So I always put that as forefront.
So that means, guys, creators, if you have stuff sitting down on things that you would have just shot willy-nilly or whatever it is, this is the time to bring it out. This is the time to show people your process. This is the time to remind people of the work that you do. Even if you can't be on set, show them how you are when you are on set, or when you were on set, and how you will be on set, because you don't know who's watching.
Yes, and this is also the time that filmmakers can now get on the other side of the camera, such as yourself.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. But I was also going to say, and start writing, like, you know how many scripts I need to finish? I have like 2 movie scripts I need to finish. And
Right.
so this is also a good, and a documentary, and this is my personal stuff. And we tend to put our own things on the back burner because we're working on client stuff.
This is you project me.
Yes, Project Me. That said, for your talent, what kind of plans have y'all put in place to keep them relevant, to keep your talent relevant?
Well, again, we all have personal branding to do, personal development to do. So this is definitely the time for that. Revamp, rebrand, and create, because they also create as well. Puff is also doing what I always wanted him to do, which is get into production. So he has something that he's going to be releasing soon. Can't say it yet. But as I say, we are going to walk out of this on another level. This is the time that art, music, and film get turned all the way up, because now you have the time to stop, slow down, and work on quality and not really about quantity.
Yeah, because we just rush it. We were rushing and always trying to meet deadline.
We just want to get things out. You want to get things out. No, you can now relax a little bit and breathe and really work on it and put out something that is classic.
Nice. So creatives, you hear that? This is what we got to do. We have the time now. Let's get it right. Let's work on our business instead of in the business. You understand? Rash and Matt say so.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, Matthew.
Thank you.
This was a great conversation.
It really was.
Yeah, man.
Have fun.
Yeah. This was a good conversation, and thank you for being so open and candid, and sharing the way you're dealing and you're navigating with the whole COVID-19 pandemic, and how it has changed our world as we know it, like this.
Yep.
So we just need to adapt.
We never know if it may not go back to the normal that we are used to. So this is the time to pay attention, work on yourself, and make sure that whatever page get turned, it could be part of the script.
Cool. Thank you. Love that.
Where we're at right now, man. Very tricky period that we in right now, man.
Yeah, and evolving a perspective.
Nobody has the answer right now. No one.